Mark, do you ever just see this camera angle and go, damn, how sexy is that?
Of course
beast?
he does. Of course he does.
Yeah. How does she wake up so sexy? I don't feel cute today.
Really?
Yeah.
You look so cute.
I tried. It didn't work.
What are you talking about? You're so dumb. God. Pretty
You're
privileged.
So blind.
Pretty privileged,
blind,
dude.
Green.
Fucking
You're
pretty
so
bitches.
blind. It's because I had to record a video with the front camera today on my iPhone.
Okay, so?
And the front camera's like, oh, you're an ugly piece of shit.
And with that, welcome to Shh, They Don't Tell You.
Welcome to They Don't Tell You.
I think that's a good intro. I'm Steve Green. Today, indeed, we are talking about relationship questions, and everyone's got relationships and everyone's got questions.
Indeed.
But not everyone's got relationships, so shout out there if you don't have one. Sorry about that.
You might be better off. Maybe you got to find yourself. Develop a relationship with yourself before you try to have one with another person.
I like that. She's talking, of course, about the art of masturbation.
I wasn't.
Which I think is important.
It's nice.
It's
but that's not what I was talking about.
Okay, my bad.
I was talking about loving yourself unconditionally.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Even if you come really fast.
Sick. Okay, first one coming up is my girlfriend, 20 female, came out to me, 21 male, as asexual. Oh. I've been dating this girl a while now, and she's recently told me that she thinks she's asexual.
That just means she doesn't want to have sex. I used to think I was asexual. It turns out that I was just with someone I wasn't very sexually attracted to.
You know, that's kind of what I'm getting at here. She's always known that she had little to no sexual attraction towards people, but never really put two and two together until now. Luckily now, when she's in a relationship. Mm-hmm. I completely understand and respect that she feels this way, but I'm not sure whether it's a problem for me or not. I'm not asexual. I don't particularly value physical intimacy like most people do. I see it as more as something you can do rather than something you should do. We had sex a few times before she came out, but I was never really into it. I mean, it felt good, but I never really felt any intimate connection when doing it.
So is he asexual?
I'm just sort of lost with the current situation. I love them more than anything, and I really don't want to lose her. Her personality is literally perfect in every way. She's extremely beautiful to top it off. My emotional connection to her is much stronger than any sexual desire or need that I have.
OP is asexual?
OP is saying his girlfriend came out to him as asexual, and he's kind of chilling about it.
Well, maybe that's fine then. Like, if you don't care.
He's 21. She's 20.
I mean, if you're not having raging hormones when you're 21.
Exactly. Well, I'm saying, real quick. He says, I'm leaning towards the side of not caring and being fine with it, but there's still this little part of me that's somewhat anxious about making such a big decision. I just don't know what to do or how to feel.
Well, if he doesn't feel horny all the time, then I guess it's not a problem.
I just don't. You know what I mean?
No, this generation, there's something different. I mean, like, I guess every generation thinks the next generation's different, but like, they're not excited to get their driver's licenses.
Right.
They just like don't want to. They don't care to drive. They don't care to have sex.
Yeah.
Or really drink. Like, they don't really care about drinking either. It's like a different world. Like, I've tried to like talk to the youths about it. Because like, it's not like I drink a lot or like whatever, but like the things you get excited about, like I was definitely excited to like turn 21 to have my first drink, my first legal drink. Yeah. And I was definitely excited to get my driver's license and get to, drive. But I was also thinking about how like we used to see that as freedom.
Yes.
Like we finally get to get away, like, no one,
get
and
away
like
from the parents.
Yeah. And like
family.
Nobody can like really reach you. Like you have a phone, like we had phones, but not like really. Like, not like iPhone, not like they have now. They didn't have social media. There's no social media on them or anything. And like the way that this generation like gets away is like through social media. Like they go into their phone. They like don't want to leave the house.
They don't want to leave the house.
And they don't, and like it's kind of dangerous out there, and they're like just showing how dangerous it is all the time. And like a lot of them do have a fear of like leaving the house. Like
I think that COVID did that to a lot of people as well.
Yeah, it's like an agoraphobia thing that happened. But with the younger generation, because like we knew what it was like before COVID, or like we like already were adults for a while. So like, I don't know, it just didn't affect our brains the same.
Exactly.
They're prefrontal cortex wasn't all the way developed yet. Like they were under 25.
Right.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand this next generation completely.
Yeah.
I'm not in a judgmental way.
Yeah.
But it's just like very different. Like they are not interested in marriage. They're not interested in like a lot of things that we grew up pretty interested in. Where that was like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to do that. Or I can't wait to do that. They're
Yes.
like not really like, they're not really looking
I guess
forward.
that happened to our generation a little bit because there's not everyone's keyed in on having kids.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like slowly.
Well, it got expensive.
Exactly.
And it just isn't the same world as it used to be.
Yeah.
And so I think what happens is like there is a subconscious want to like raise your kids the way that you grew up, you know, like.
Yeah, I just think that the people who aren't, you know, if you're in a relationship and there's no sexual anything involved with it, I just don't think it's a real relationship. But who am I to judge?
Right. That's the thing is that like,
That's like for me.
I can't
That's
be
like a
in
cornerstone
another
for me.
person's body. I don't know like their perspective and truth and how they feel. I do know that like when I was younger, up until I was like 24,
Yeah.
I didn't think I was that into sex. I thought it was like
Right.
something that, same with the OP saying, like it's something you could do, but
Yeah.
like kind of get over it after the first couple months anyway.
Because you're just not into your partner anymore.
Yeah, I guess like it was the
And you
initial.
go, well, this is what happens to relationships.
Well, I
It
really
slowly
liked
burns
hanging
off.
out with them.
Right.
Like I really liked, I think I just liked having guy friends.
Yeah.
And then just like, ooh, like this person could be my boyfriend. And like I kind of had a crush on them, but I didn't have like that intimacy, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where like it was just like having a childhood friend basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. I
Like
mean,
I liked cuddling and stuff. But then yeah, that was wrong because like I actually am very sexual. But
exactly.
it didn't get unlocked until I was with someone that I had chemistry with.
Yeah, I feel like I'm bad at answering this one because I don't understand asexuality whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so I just think I'm bad at it. But I don't know, man. If you're completely Gucci somehow and you're like, my partner's asexual and I don't need to like,
Yeah.
then that's
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like
on you.
if they're like chill with it. Like, cause I remember at that time, I would have loved for my boyfriend to chill on the sex, like to not really want it.
Like leave you alone.
Yeah. To like, so we could just hang out and like just hang and like not have sex.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was still like down or whatever, but I wasn't like looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So exactly. So I would have been thrilled if they came out to me as asexual at the time.
Yeah, fair. I think it's because my partner at the time like really didn't attract me by like what she was up to. Mm-hmm. And I think that like I'm big on like, first of all, you have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And then like we have to have like a connection through like what we like.
Yeah.
And like that was lacking and she just wanted to watch like fucking high school dramas and shit.
I think that's what it is. Sense of humor was so big for me that I wasn't turned on by the person I was with because they weren't funny.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's the biggest one for
Yeah.
me. Obviously, like you're a beautiful
And
woman and I
also-
got very lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sense of humor.
When they tried to make a joke, it was really bad.
See, that's what I'm saying, dude.
So it made it
And-
worse. And then it compiled on top of each other where like I wouldn't even know if he made a good joke because like I just already think it's bad.
Yeah, you're just
Like,
ready for the blow.
I'm just already like you're not a funny person. So
Yeah,
like
that's a
just
tough-
don't you just be not funny, it's fine, but like don't
just stop joking.
yeah, just don't make jokes 'cause
Yeah,
it's not funny.
yeah.
Like,
No, and see, that's so rough. Can you
I know,
imagine?
and like it's
Imagine growing old with somebody like that.
no,
like you can't.
But I thought I could
Yeah,
because I didn't know any better,
Well, yeah, you're trying to fit square pegs in round holes.
and I was
everywhere.
that age.
Yep.
So
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I think maybe you got to grow into yourself a little bit, but maybe not because I don't know anything about asexuality.
But if I would have stayed with them, I would have hardened those beliefs. Like, yeah, sex is important, and like we don't need it, and we found it a way to work. But you know, fortunately for me, my partner was not asexual at all. He very much wanted to have sex, and I just did not.
Yeah, you're not into it.
Yeah, so
not
we
vibing.
broke up.
No vibrations.
No vibrations, man.
Yeah. All right, peep this one.
Okay.
My childhood best friend, 25 female, ghosted me after asking me, 24 female, to be her maid of honor 7 weeks before her wedding. Where do I go from here? Phew. Okay. Me and Male have been friends since first grade. Me and M have been friends since first grade.
Oh,
Yeah, M, my bad. While we don't really keep in touch in adulthood, I would still consider her to be one of my most valued friends. If I got married tomorrow, she'd be my first pick as maid of honor. I have to admit, at times it can be frustrating dealing with M's communication style. She's a very last-minute person and almost never texts or calls first. Growing up, I was super ingrained in her family and went on vacations with them, and I'm very familiar with even her distant relatives. Her parents always referred to me as her sister and their adopted daughter. I miss her a lot. I think about her a lot. We just kind of chat on IG for an hour or so about life updates a few times a year. Every once in a while, I'll call her family house phone and leave a message for her parents. Wow, they still have family house phones out there.
Whoa.
6 weeks ago, she messaged me on IG.
A message.
Major life event. She's engaged. She says she's meant to send me the message months ago, but something happened with IG messages. Some glitch, I don't really know. And it just never got to me. It was a huge text about how happy and excited she is, and then at the very bottom, a proposal that I be her maid of honor. I immediately said yes and congratulated her. Then she told me the wedding was in 7 weeks, aka the next month, and I started to panic. I bought the dress she sent, and after a week of looking over my work and school calendar, I was just having a hard time making space for a wedding, let alone being her maid of honor. While I was super gutted with disappointment, I felt kind of annoyed. I mean, I'm in school. I just got a big promotion at my first real salaried job. Shouldn't she know all of this? The dress she told me to order was going to take 9 days to get to me, but who knows how long it would take to get tailored. But I still went ahead and bought it. Then I started thinking about the obligations of a matron of honor, bachelorette party, speech. I got overwhelmed. Usually people have 9 months or so to plan this, to budget it. She's halfway across the country in my hometown, didn't even offer me a place to stay.
Oof.
I messaged her on IG. I told her, hey, I want to be as transparent as possible and say this may have been too short of notice for XYZ reasons, school, work obligations. I'm trying to make it work, but it may not be possible. Emphasis on may not be possible. I sent her the receipt to the engagement gift I sent her in case she didn't like it and wanted to exchange it. The wedding is next week. She has never talked to me again.
The wedding's next week.
I eventually pleaded with a coworker to cover my shift and found a way to make things work. So she has such a distant friendship with this girl that she's thinking like maybe there's a miscommunication again, and I'll just show up at the wedding as the matron of honor.
Oh my gosh.
How wild is this?
This is crazy.
That's what I'm talking about. Like the next generation is kind of wild right now. But, right?
I don't know.
Okay, I eventually pleaded with a coworker to cover my shift, found ways to make things work. My dress is going to be done at the tailor's on Monday, but she never talked to me again, all caps. I left voicemails, nothing. I have no idea if I'm even invited anymore. And if I am, where the heck am I supposed to go? My feelings are hurt. I'm annoyed. And as much as it pains me to think this may be the end of our friendship because I just can't wrap my head around this, please, any advice. My advice for you is that you did not have a friendship with this person.
Yeah, this is insane behavior. I feel like she only asked this girl because she like felt obligated.
Exactly.
And then like she like bolted at the first.
Emma, matron of honor is kind of like you don't feel obligated, right? You would say like, "Hey, come to my wedding."
No. I mean, she felt obligated to offer the maid of honor position.
Oh, you think?
Because it was like a childhood sister. Like,
and then
they
when
said.
she's like, "I'll take it," she's like, "Oh shit, I'm just gonna ghost this bitch."
Yeah, well, the first sign of trouble, like, oh, I don't know if I can make it, but or I don't know if I can be the, you know, I'm trying to make it work. She just like, oh, well, I offered, and she now she gets to make her story like, oh, I offered and she like couldn't make it.
She gets to be the victim of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. That's just the vibe I get.
Girls are cunning.
That's just the vibe I get because like first of all, it's weird that you say, oh, I meant to send this 7 months earlier, but
That's
or
insane,
whatever,
by the way.
you know, like, and then it took me this long to realize you didn't get the message. Like you would have realized that a glitch happened way sooner. So like it seemed like she was throwing it last minute just to like throw it all off.
Yes.
Like, and they hadn't talked for a while. I don't know. It's the whole
wanted to ask you this one because Nikki has very close childhood friends, but they talk like I would say like every 6 months or so.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah, but like they would never leave me on red.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying like because I think for me, if I didn't know about that, I would just look at this and go, you guys aren't real friends and it's all bullshit, which is what I opened with. But I wanted to get your perspective.
Yeah, no, like I still feel super close to my friends from high school, and we talk maybe like every 6 months.
But you're just not the type of friend who needs to like touch base every week or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I feel like it's that strong though, where like if I showed up at my friend's house tomorrow, like if I just showed up on her doorstep, she would immediately take me in.
Of course.
Like there There's just no like
They would take me in.
Yeah, there's just like no question. They're like, it's like family members. Like if I mean I haven't talked to my cousin in a year, but like if I talked to her, it wouldn't be like, oh, we're not cousins because you haven't talked to me in a year.
Yeah.
You know, like we've built up a lifetime of closeness.
Right.
So you know, I think it's a little different. But this chick, like, if she doesn't even know if they're that good of friends, if she's like, I don't know, I wouldn't go to the wedding.
Yeah, I wouldn't go either. I would stay the hell away.
Because, like, how embarrassing would that feel? Also, she doesn't know where she's going to stay.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, like, sad.
I know. The whole thing is sad. Frankly, the friendship's sad, in my opinion.
Exactly. She just needs to take her power back.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I would just feel so disempowered by the friend that I would just want to get my power back. Like, I would just want to, you know, reclaim my boundaries, you know, and be like, okay, well, this was already fucked up. And
I completely agree.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think OP is in the wrong at all.
No. I just can't imagine the ghosting part. Like, the ghosting part is like a punishment maybe for her saying
remember how you had a friend who was getting married and then they felt like their friend got pregnant on purpose to like steal attention from their wedding?
Yes.
Okay, so like that's
she was
like
crazy, dude.
Some girls are just freaking
Some girls
nuts.
are nuts, dude.
Some girls are absolutely batshit.
They found out that so the full story is girls getting married, and then she's like, and everyone's known about this, by the way, for like a year, and then she's like, and then she gets pregnant, and she's gonna give birth at the same time as my wedding, so now she maybe can't go. And she's acting like this bitch planned the whole thing to just completely get out of her wedding.
And I'm like, get out of the wedding. Like, that's actually what she thought. And you know what?
That's like narcissistic.
Like, that's not the first girl that I've heard talk like that.
No, bitches are crazy.
Like, sometimes I've heard wild shit where I'm like, my mind would take 1,000,000 years to ever go there.
I know, man.
Like, I would never go there.
I know.
That's like absolutely insane to me. But
I don't even know how to even think about myself that much.
I know.
Like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I was not raised to do that.
It's neuroticism, 100%.
That too. It's not even narcissistic shit. It's neuroticism.
Yeah, like almost like a paranoia. Like your friends aren't really your friends,
right.
and like so you like they're
betraying me at every level.
They do like offense
ritualistically.
They're playing offense and saying they're defense.
Yes,
you know, like because they think that the friend's gonna attack them, so they gotta get it first. You know, it's just like it's so weird.
Yeah,
friendships like that are no bueno anyway.
No buenos
you
dias,
don't want it. You don't want no buenos diases.
No buenos noches.
No buenos, no dias, no noches, nothing.
Nothing. Okay, I like this one.
Okay.
Want to get your thoughts?
Hit me.
Okay. How can I, 25 female, boost my boyfriend's 25 male confidence regarding his looks? My boyfriend has never been confident with his looks. He's an average looking guy. To me, he's the cutest goober I've ever laid eyes on, but he thinks he's a 3 out of 10 in society's beauty standards.
I love those guys.
I always tell him that he's handsome or cute whenever he feels insecure about his looks, because to me it's true. Whenever he sends me selfies, I can't help but appreciate him because he rarely takes photos of himself. He's always wearing a face mask or standing in the back of a crowd and having his face partially covered.
Okay, so that's weird. That part is unattractive.
That part's weird.
Yeah, like just own your 3-ness. Just own your 3 out of 10-ness.
Yeah, get that big 3 behind you, brother.
Because it makes you like at least a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
when you own it.
You're confident about
God. Yeah, like when you own it.
Yeah, dude. Confident 3, brother.
Because that just takes it to a 1.
I would encourage him to wear something else other than black clothes, black pants, black t-shirt, black shoes. Always that combo. I know that he should wear whatever he wants, but come on, at least add a bit of color in your closet. He thinks he looks best wearing black clothing.
If he doesn't think he looks good at all, like why not try something new?
Yeah, dude. Hawaiian shirts. Fucking distract from your face with some color, brother.
Yeah.
It makes me a bit sad that we don't have any decent or cute couples photos because he's really insecure of his face. Like, he'd expressed that he wants us to have photos together, but he doesn't really like his face.
Okay, so the guy that I wasn't very sexually attracted to, at first, like I was, right?
Yeah.
And the initial spark, you know, all this stuff. But he was very confident in what he was doing, blah, blah, blah. But then he had just like this laundry list of insecurities. On top of that, he like didn't feel like he had a purpose in general.
Yeah.
And it does, like, you don't realize how it erodes the sexual attraction, because it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, if she starts becoming unattracted to him, it's like, well, I knew that was going to happen anyway.
Yep.
But really, like, if he just owned it, it wouldn't be unattractive.
Amen.
But him like hiding or cowering or like not wanting to take pictures
It's
or
a
like
tough look, man.
hiding his face, like those are unattractive qualities.
Yeah, I used to have the acne's pretty bad, right? And I feel very much I can relate with like that feeling.
Yeah.
Because I never was raised to think that I was like a very hot dude or whatever, or even like an attractive man. But I never, my mouth let me get away with so much shit in my life that I never like was like, oh man, like I really, my skin was like the worst thing that ever happened to me. And shedding my skin issue like was huge for me.
Yeah.
Massive for me.
What about the smile issue? Because like when we started dating, like you wouldn't smile in pictures because your ex-girlfriend said
the smile's tough because of that. Yeah, my ex-girlfriend, who by the way probably still thinks I'm a son of a bitch to this day because I dumped her the day before Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. She used to tell me not to smile in pictures because like I don't have a very good smile.
I know, it's so messed
which
up.
Which is wild. But that was my first relationship. So I just learned because even after that I still was with her for like 2 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So I just never learned how to smile in pictures very good. So I don't know.
I practiced in a mirror for a long time because of headshots, like because of needing to take headshots, and I didn't want to like spend a bunch of money and then not like my pictures because I used to hate my smile in pictures. And then I practiced so much in the mirror to like make sure I liked my smile in pictures, and I could do it without looking in the mirror.
Sometimes I get tricked into smiling, like actually smiling, and I'm not even thinking about it, and that's when I'm like, oh, that's my smile.
Yeah.
But I don't always.
When you try to do it, it doesn't come
I
out.
completely fumby.
You should practice in the mirror, but don't tell anybody you did that. But like,
no, I won't.
But practice in the mirror, like.
Yeah, I'll practice in the mirror. Next time you're out of town for a week, I'll practice in the mirror.
And then you can kind of feel like you can remember the facial muscles, like what you liked about that smile,
My whole thing with this guy, I would just say you fake it a little bit more, dude. Like, you don't have to be so forthcoming about like how you feel like you're uggo.
Yeah.
I would just like be more chill to yourself.
What's her question?
She said, I love him so much, but I want him to love himself a bit more. So what can I do to boost his confidence?
Think being confident about something you're good at, like, will help you come out of your shell in all aspects.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think I really felt pretty. I know I was getting sent out on roles where the description would say like hot girl, and I never like felt that.
Yeah.
And it was always so hard for me to like reconcile, especially being in like the waiting rooms, the audition rooms where there's like a bunch of really hot girls.
Yeah.
Like it was just like I never thought of myself that way because I was like more nerdy in school, and then like I went more, punk rock off.
That was my shit.
But I was always like seen as like the smart girl, not the like hot girl. I always wanted to be the hot girl. I wanted to. I wanted to be pretty, but I wasn't like, that was just never me. And then
like, that's not me.
And then once I accepted that, all of a sudden it was like a joke. A universe pulled like a bait and switch because I was like, okay, I accept that I'm like the nerdy, awkward, weird one. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I like turned 20 and go, on auditions, and they're like, nope, you're the hot one now. You got to go be a hot girl. And I was like, I have no idea how to be hot. I don't know how to be a hot.
Not confident.
Yeah, I was so unconfident, and so I got the note so much that like, because sometimes your manager like checks and like sees why you didn't book the part, and the casting directors are like really honest, and they're like, yeah, it just like didn't match. Like her outer was like she fit the role, but then like as soon as I started talking, like it didn't fit the
she's
face.
Too corny.
And I had to work with a acting coach for a year to like be confident in that role. But I ended up writing an audition fail sketch about it with Kasim G. That one, it was based on like, a couple different things, but I put them all together. But it was based.
You also had to go to a pole dancing class.
I did. Yeah, I went to a month-long, 3-day a week, 3 hours a day.
She wasn't in touch with like her sexual
at
side.
all.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was saying. I thought I was asexual because even when I did have sex, it was like goofy. Like it wasn't like sexy. It was just like, I don't know. It was just like hee like I guess we're gonna do this thing now, and it was just like not like it wasn't cool. It wasn't it wasn't like sexy
wasn't
at all.
As cool as you are now.
Yeah, and then that pole dancing class really opened me up, like in a deep way, like where.
What did that? What do you think?
I was dancing for me. Like I was connected. It wasn't about dancing for a man. Like there were no men.
Yeah. And
it was like in the mirror, and like when you're in that class, and the way she's like kind of teaching you the moves themselves make you feel sexy.
Right.
And like she would coach you and like in a good, like a strong way, like as if she was a tennis coach, you know, on your structure and your form, like basically, until you felt it. And then when you feel it, like when it clicks for you, you're like, oh damn, like I feel sexy.
Yeah,
like I feel
yeah.
hot. And then the music takes over, and like you don't even notice the other people in the classroom because it's dim lighting. So you're just like, she has you like just make contact with you in the mirror, and like you're up against the mirror, and like sometimes you're not even looking in the mirror, you're just like against the wall and like doing all the moves that you learned, which are actually like pretty athletic, like core muscle. Yeah,
Hard
like it was actually a great workout. But
I go to pole dancing stuff because I'm admiring the athleticism.
yeah, and you're working out your.
I view them as athletes.
You're working your glutes, yeah. And so like after a month of doing that, I felt very in touch with that feminine power, sensuality.
Yes.
I wouldn't even call it sexuality. I would call it like sensuality.
Totally.
Just like being so one with your senses that you just don't care who's watching.
Sick.
Yeah.
So sick.
But that took a while to discover.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean.
And it took like really wanting
you
it.
had to unearth that in yourself.
Yeah, because I was very unconfident and awkward, especially like if you threw at me like, be the weird girl, I'd be like, yeah, I'm super confident at that. But when you're like, be the hot girl, I'm like, oh, no. And especially since my relationship in high school, like your girl told you your smile sucks.
Yeah.
I dated a popular guy for like 2 months, and he broke up with me in the most horrendous way, where he was just like, you're not girly enough. You're like you walk funny. You like are just too awkward and weird. Like you're just not attractive. Like he listed like a whole list, and it ended up being my first stand-up bits of like how I'm not girly enough, and I had a whole bit about like shaving my balls and stuff. But
nice.
That like really hit me, where I was like, well, I don't want to be that. Like I don't care. Like he can feel that way, and like I don't want to be that. But that took like years to get through.
Yeah.
And that was like the senior year of high school too. So, you know, going into my early 20s, it was still there. It really stuck to me for a long time.
Well, speaking of that, speaking of a long time, this won't be very long. We're just going to go on a quick break. But when we come back, more relationship questions. Also, if you like the show, nothing helps the show more, then check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/sticky.
Yes. And we do STIKKI. We do poker free rolls every month too. We got to do one this month.
Yeah, we do.
And it's going to be double because we missed ours last month.
Yep.
So double cash prizes.
Also do Crypto Corner every Tuesday. Also, we go deep on crypto. Also, we get the show a day early. So check us out on Patreon. And we'll be right back.
Hey, we're on a break right now, and I guess we're supposed to promo our show.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about our show.
We're going to talk about a show that you took a break from to like talk about how you should listen to our show.
Technically, we're not on a break. We're still working.
It's called Shit They Don't Tell You, and it's all the shit that we wish people would have told us that we had to mess up on and figure out ourselves. Now we're telling you about it.
That's it.
And sometimes we answer questions that you send in, and sometimes we judge other people's situations.
So keep listening, and check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/sticky. Thank you.
And shout out to Brian Jorgensen.
And we're back. So check this one out.
Okay.
How do I get over falling for someone hard and quickly? I'm male 29. They are NB 29. I assume that means non-binary.
Non-binary, yeah.
I fell for them hard, met them only a few weeks ago, instantly hit it off. We both were really intensely diving in. We took trips together, talked about the future, made cute lists together of where to visit. They said things like it was scary how much I like you, and that they told their mom about me, that I was the only person that they felt they could really talk to and made them feel comfortable. But then we had trouble. The details are long, but basically I would feel uncared for. They would be very intense and then suddenly go off and be flirting with some other guy for like an hour at a party in front of me. We would talk and they would apologize and say they were just scared of how intense it felt with me and it made them do stuff like that. But it happened a couple of times. Then it was just less and less intense. They never texted me. They would never reach out and ask about my day. We saw each other often because we worked together, but I was always waiting for them to initiate because they are a very impulse-driven and flighty person, and I was trying to give them a sense of freedom, but also was being hurt in the process.
Yeah.
Right now, it's basically over. They basically said the issues we had made them feel really bad and took a lot out of them emotionally, and they were just investing too much time in another person, and they cannot do that right now.
Yeah.
They actually broke up with their last girlfriend basically as soon as we met, which probably should have told me about how quickly they let go of folks.
Oh, yeah.
They had been together for 6 months, took a road trip with their girlfriend and mom to move to this new place. And within a week of being here, they were asking me if they should break up with them, and then did, and were seemingly unaffected.
Oof.
They say they don't want to date me, but we can still do things together physically and get to know each other. Oh.
Oof.
Then we start talking about how neither of us want to know about the other hooking up with other people. But then in the middle of the conversation, they also say, what does it matter? We aren't dating. Anyway, how do I get over this?
This is toxic.
Yeah, this is...
So...
This person doesn't give a damn about you.
No, they don't care at all.
They
are in it for
themselves.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
What gives them the most pleasure at this time, and how can they get it quickly and be done with the other person?
Good Lord.
Yeah, no.
And they're like a succubi, right? They're just like
you're
latching on. You're being used.
They're
and then
sucking your energy out
and then they
spitting you out.
dispose of you.
Yeah.
Of the husk.
Nah, you gotta keep your power.
Exactly. This is what doesn't happen a lot, and I wish I could even tell myself this as a youth, you know? Like where you're getting used like this and you don't really know it, and you just
don't want to believe it.
You don't want to believe it, and you're just trying to force a relationship so hard.
Yeah,
it's not being reciprocated to you.
Because you're like, how am I being used if I want this person?
Exactly, and I love them.
Yeah, well, they're using that information,
that's exactly right,
and they're leveraging it against you.
Yep, and they're just using. They're using your affection for them to get whatever they want.
Yes,
and then they're using excuses like, I already told you I'm like we're not a boyfriend girlfriend, so what the hell is this out of nowhere?
Yep.
But then they're the one calling you at 12 midnight, come pick me up from this party.
Such gaslighting.
Oh, it's the best, dude. It's the best.
Yeah.
Like, well, who calls somebody at 12 midnight to come pick them up from a party?
Yeah.
Right? Like basically destroying one boundary and then setting a boundary when it's convenient to them.
Exactly.
Always.
And making you feel like you're the weirdo.
And you're crazy for it. And we talked about this so many times.
You're so clingy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you're
get
my
out
best
of there.
Friend.
Honestly, get the heck out of there, but also work on yourself so you don't attract this in your life, because basically this happens when you're a codependent personality, and this happened through your past experiences in childhood and blah, 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 blah. You formed a codependent personality, and it attracts narcissists. It attracts like abusive, manipulative people. It attracts not great people that will swindle you. They will be charismatic. You will think that they need you because they make you feel that way, and they will love bomb you, and then they will dispose of you after they're done with you. You just don't need that, but you're gonna have to do some work on yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because until you really accept, like really love yourself enough to like set strong boundaries, you're gonna attract the wrong people.
Yeah, and that's just gonna happen, right? Like you're gonna have to learn that.
Yeah.
If you're that type of person, you're going to have to learn. It is a toughie.
Might take a couple times.
Well, especially if you're like an open-hearted person and you want to help people and stuff like that. And like, you're like, oh, but I care. The problem is that you care about them so much more than they care about you.
Yeah.
And you don't
sometimes they're so
understand
damn charismatic that you think that like.
They're tricky. Yeah.
You think, because you love a certain way, or like the way you feel for people is a certain way, you are projecting that's how other people feel on you when they're acting
that's right
a certain way, when it's just not how they are.
It's like a magician who's smiling at you while they're tricking you.
Yeah.
And that's the best.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, that's it. But you got to learn it the hard way. And me and Nikki only talk so passionately about this because it's happened to us.
Yes. And we would like it to happen less to other people that are listening.
Recognize the patterns and get out of there sooner.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's why, like, when you guys write in, by the way, you can write in anytime at podcast@nikki.limo, nikki.lamo. But when you guys write in about your relationships and situationships, we can tell right away. We get like basically on the nose, and we've gotten so many follow-ups. I'm pretty confident in that because we've gotten so many follow-ups over the years. This podcast has been around for 8 years, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
But like, or 7 years. But we've gotten so many follow-ups over the past 7 years of people that were like, you're so right. And also, I'm 2 years into a relationship with the love of my life. I'm so glad you told me to break up 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, take it or leave it. But these are telltale signs.
Famous example, by the way, Joe from JK, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Jess, like we told them, break up, Button City, USA. Fit. And that turned out to be the best decision for both of them. And they're both in flourishing, happy, loving relationships now. And getting married.
Yep.
Like both of them, things that I think both of them didn't think were possible.
They did not.
Trust me. So yeah, it's,
and we were the only ones.
We're the only
being
ones
honest with them.
telling them the truth about this. Everyone else was just trying to be like, look, it's way more convenient if you guys stay together because it's more convenient for everybody in the group.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to recognize that. And by the way, they're not being mean. They're just they're just like, look.
They just think that's how it works because
that's how it works. Relationships are suffering.
Shown.
Yeah, it's bad. Bad news bears all around. Okay. All right, last one here.
Okay.
Me, 28 male, saw a random girl name on Instagram messages on 28 female's phone. I'm a 28 male. I put my girlfriend, 28 female, on her phone on the charger. And I saw a message from a girl called Hannah. And she said, how is everyone? So I just asked my girlfriend, who's Hannah? She's never mentioned her before or at all. And not anyone close to this name that I'm aware of. It wasn't meant to be me interrogating her. I was just asking a question. And she went off on me and told me it wasn't a message and I didn't see it. But I clearly did. And now she stormed off with the phone, shouting at me and saying she wants to break up with me and hates me, all because I asked, who's Hannah?
Whoa. That's crazy. But I don't know if that really happened that way. But if it did, that's pretty nuts.
I think that whatever this is, just get out of there, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
she already said she hates you and yelled at you for that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, get out of there, dude.
Yeah.
This reminds me of, I'll never forget, I was at a bookstore with my mom one time.
A bookstore?
Yeah, I was at a bookstore.
It sounds like bug store.
No, I was at a bookstore. We went to the bookstore sometimes, but mostly bookstores.
Okay. I like books more than bugs.
And I remember I saw this book. It was like, it looked like a real slutty New Year's book or whatever like that. And I was like, I don't know, like probably 10 years old. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, whoa, this is probably boobs in it and stuff. And I remember grabbing the book and I was looking at it. And then my mom came over and she's like, what are you looking at, Steven? And I threw the book behind the bookshelf. And I'm instantly like, I hate you. I fucking hate you. Get away from me, you know? Because you're just guilty as shit.
She caught you doing something.
Yeah, she caught me doing something naughty or whatever. And it was just guilty as hell. And you're just like punishing her. Yeah. Trying to get her to think about something else.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I hate you. I hate you.
So weird.
It's so weird. But like something like this, I'm like, whatever's going on is like.
It's not good.
It's guilty stuff, bud. Like, who has that kind of reaction?
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah. Did you ever get caught doing anything weird by your parents?
Yeah, but they don't believe me that it wasn't. So like, I feel like I feel guilty when like I didn't do something wrong, but I think it looks like I did something wrong.
Okay.
And then I start acting like way more guilty. Yeah. You know, and then it just looks like I'm totally lying. So like, we bought a gag vibrator gift for. I think it was Tanya. I don't remember. Like, I think it was for someone's birthday. But I was 18 and like I had just been able to get the power to like buy a gag gift.
Yeah.
Anyway, I bought one and it was out. I threw the packaging away in the garbage.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think about it. It was supposed to be a gag gift.
Yeah.
And my mom found it. Found the packaging and was like, so like, I found the packaging of your toy, and I was like, what? Yeah. And then she's like, yeah, your toy. I'm not into it personally, but like, you know,
your new toy.
If you do that, I just like, your dad could have seen that, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, that was a gag gift. And she's like, it's okay. Yeah. She's like, you could do that. I'm like, no, it was really a gag gift. And she's like, okay.
That's
like,
so funny.
And I was like, no, wait. But like, yeah, there's no way for me to prove that it wasn't a gag gift.
Impossible.
So yeah, that was the only thing I could. I wasn't like, I hate you. I was just like, no.
You should have been like, hey, come here and smell it.
What?
Yeah. Come here, you over here and smell it right now. Dude, that reminds me. You know, Shane Dawson one time bought me a pocket pussy like for my birthday as a gag gift.
Yeah.
And then I had it in my Mini Cooper for like, I don't know, probably 4 years. Cause you know how I put everything in my Mini Cooper and I never remembered anything that was in there.
Yeah.
And then one time I was at a gas station and I was like going through my trunk cause I had to, like, my tires were low and I had to like, you know, inflate my tires or whatever. And I was going through my trunk to like, I don't remember, I was looking for quarters or whatever. And I remember finding this little pocket pussy in there. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, oh, right. I forgot about this. And I'm walking over to the garbage can holding a pocket pussy. And this guy's looking at me. And I'm like, No, dude, it's a gag gift, dude. It's like a gag gift or whatever. And this guy's just like,
Yeah, whatever you're into,
like, whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it wasn't exactly at nighttime, so it was like weird that I was throwing away a pocket pussy in the middle of the day. But yeah.
Creeper.
Shit happens. Dude.
Yeah, you came in a pocket pussy and then you want to
totally,
dispose
dude.
of the evidence.
I used to use that thing all the time in the back of my car.
On the
dude.
405.
Yeah, all the time. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom, I swear wasn't mine.
So funny.
I like don't. Yeah, no. I tried one once and I didn't like it. But it was
good.
Yeah. I didn't like it. And then my friends, I have friends that like toys and they
which ones?
They incorporate it into sex. I'll tell you later. Okay. But they're like, no, use it, like incorporate it into sex.
Whoa.
And I was just like, I just don't like the extra. Like I just don't. It's just too much. Like there's just too much stimulation happening, and like it's not pleasant because it's just like it's overstimulated. Like I don't like it.
There's one called my favorite dildo name I ever saw was one called the Great American Challenge, and that is a great name for a dildo.
The ones that they like are the ones that like suck on the clit.
Oh.
They're like the rose ones that they're mostly clit oriented.
Clit oriented.
Yeah, they suck on the. Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll put a link in the description.
I haven't used. By the way, I have not used one of those yet, so maybe I could like it, but I just don't want to. It sounds really overstimulating.
Yeah. She likes to be with a less stimulating person, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I like it to be very vanilla.
Very vanilla, very boring, very bland.
As vanilla as possible.
Exactly. Like 5 out of 10 every time,
preferably
brother.
small.
Yeah.
Very tiny. And I will tell you that it's big, but it's
just not cutting it. Just not cutting it, brother.
I just like it to not cut it at all.
So sick. I'm so glad you're that way. Santa Barbara chicks, dude. I wish they all could be California girls out there.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today, indeed. So, yeah, we'll see you on the next one, kids. We hope you all having a good week out there. Thanks for listening to the show. And if you like the show, and nothing helps more than to promote the show and send it to your friends. And also check us out on Patreon. And we love you guys.
All right.
All right.
See you next time.
See you. Bye.
Bye.